right now on 5 on your side at 10.
Deadly car accidents are on the rise, but the people who analyze the cause of the crashes can't keep up. The I-Team gets answers.
Water woes. We're still draining the water from last night's heavy rain, and there are more showers and thunderstorms on the way when we finally get a chance to dry out.
But first, airport overhaul and the idea to demolish the Southwest terminal.
I'd like to see it return to its glory days.
The pitch to get all airline passengers under one roof. A master plan for St. Louis Lambert International Airport could change the way you travel and impact the local economy. Good evening, I'm Ann Allred.
And I'm Mike Bush. We first told you about this plan in January. Those changes could include travel on the ground as well. Our Michelle Lee is live at Lambert, where those ideas were shared tonight. Michelle.
Good evening. So officials were pretty clear that none of these ideas were actually plans, and it could take many years to implement. Still, a lot of people wanted to come out to share their concerns, ask their questions, and also share their hopes.
How long do you think till you can finish the construction?
There were questions.
I'd like to see it return to its glory days.
There were hopes.
I'm in North County, and we just want to make sure that everybody has the adequate information.
And there were concerns from people waiting to hear what the airport director had to say about a master plan required by the FAA and done once every 10 years. One idea, repurposing Terminal 2 that's used for Southwest, the airport's busiest airline with 100 flights a day.
What's been identified is that for the future and for the way aviation is being addressed for future travelers is really a unified terminal, and being able to have one security checkpoint, one baggage system, larger concourses where you have more food and beverage opportunities for retail.
I would like to see 1 and 2 connected. Yes, I think it's silly just knock out that wall down there and just have it go straight through.
Most of the people here believe that change is needed, from concerns over function, maintenance, and reliability of the facility itself, to meeting the needs of air travel, from your next vacation to flying cargo. Buildings are aging while business is growing.
We're coming out of the pandemic really strong. We anticipate this year being somewhere between 85 and 90% of our 2019 number, and next year we think we'll exceed that.
Change is inevitable, but the people on this night want to be part of that process. Thumbs up, thumbs down, too early.
It's a little bit too early, half thumb.
Okay, so did you get that? Frederick gave us a half thumb, which means it's still too early to tell. I do want to say, though, keep in mind here, it took 2 years to make this master plan. It could be 10 more years to actually complete it, and that's once it's approved. Nonetheless, the airport still wants to hear your input. You can do that by going online to their website. Also, there will likely be more meetings as well. We are live at the airport. Michelle Lee, 5 on your side.
Tonight, flood warnings remain in effect in southwest Missouri as more rain falls on the region. As much as 6 inches of rain fell in the area over the last 24 hours. It caused a lot of flash flooding. A high school student had to be rescued from her car in Springfield when she drove into floodwaters. In Fair Grove, Missouri, a road was turned into a raging river. Heavy rains and flooding also led to evacuations of campers at Roaring River and Bennett Springs state parks.
Flash flooding was also a problem here in the bi-state. Wild Horse Creek Road in Wildwood is back open tonight. This morning's heavy rain stranded several drivers. And we just checked with MoDOT. A portion of Route F in Jefferson County near Route O remains closed at this hour because of a mud and rock slide. We could see some more showers and rumbles of thunder overnight into tomorrow.
Chief Meteorologist Scott Connell is tracking those rain chances and what you can expect for your Friday morning.
It looks like it'll be another soggy start for us, but perhaps not quite as heavy and intense as that rainfall that came through St. Louis earlier this morning was. Having said that, the ground's already saturated. Another ½ an inch to an inch of rain. Certainly the water has no place to go. Rivers are even rising. You're at 54. Quiet now in Arnold. Roads are on the dry side. Remember last night we looked at that picture and that same shot. You could see the rain already coming down. It's not so much around our area at the moment, but we're watching that system out over Kansas. It is starting to show an uptick in the showers and thunderstorms here into southwest Missouri. Flood warning does continue down in Phelps County and basically all the way down 44 into southwest Missouri. Those showers and storms could bring upwards of another inch of rain for some of us. So more showers, a few rumbles of thunder. That's going to continue into tomorrow. It'll taper off from west to east during the day, mainly in the afternoon. Another ½ inch to an inch of rain. And watch those low water crossings, especially in the hilly terrain southwest and west of St. Louis. Those are the areas where we have to be careful. You don't want to drive into roads that are covered with water or that have water flowing across them. It usually ends badly. We'll see you in a few minutes, Ann.
Tonight, 5 on Your Side continues to dig into the deadly and horrific car crash that killed an innocent driver in South St. Louis. Investigators say 2 suspects were also injured in the wreck when they sped away from St. Louis County Police. Our Robert Townsend spent several hours back at the scene near the River City Casino tonight. He joins us live from St. Louis City Police headquarters with new information from the victim's family. Robert.
And right now, there are still lots of questions surrounding the deadly car crash. Again, as you just said, today my photographer and I went back out to that scene, and here's what we saw. We saw several pieces from the driver's pickup and pieces from the suspect's red car out there on the grounds at South Broadway and River City Casino Boulevard. Again, we also saw several of the innocent driver's personal items strewn across an embankment. Now, I also met 2 of the man's family members when they were out there. They didn't want to talk on camera because, understandably, this is an extremely heartbreaking time for them. They did tell me, however, the driver was 45 years old, married, a father of 3, and a painter. I'm also told he was on his way to a painting job not far from his home when he lost his life. Right now, police have not released his name. County police say yesterday afternoon they were conducting a drug investigation in the parking lot at River City Casino when 2 people in the red sedan took off and crashed into the pickup driver less than a mile away. The pickup driver was killed instantly.
Oh, Robert, it is a horrific case. What is the status of the 2 people in the red car, and where does the investigation stand right now?
Well, and right now I can tell you this. Police say those 2 suspects are still in the hospital at this hour in critical condition. They have not been charged with anything. Now, as for the investigation, a county spokesperson for the police department tells us that their officers were not pursuing those 2 suspects at the time of the deadly crash. Of course, we'll stay on top of it. We're live downtown. I'm Robert Townsend, 5 on Your Side.
The University of Missouri is now taking disciplinary action against 13 students for an alleged hazing incident at a campus fraternity. Daniel Santulli has been unresponsive for the past 7 months due to alcohol poisoning after a frat party. A police investigation found he and other Phi Gamma Delta pledges were forced to drink dangerous amounts of alcohol. The students face suspension, even expulsion.
Tonight, Missourians are one step closer to getting a big refund from the state. The state Senate endorsed a plan to give taxpayers a one-time tax credit of up to $500 for individuals who make less than $150,000. Couples who make less than $300,000 combined could receive up to $1,000. The plan still requires a final vote in the Senate. It also needs approval by the House. Staff at Normandy High School will begin training later this morning tomorrow, I should say, for a new initiative to help steer students away from crime.
Just hours ago, community leaders gathered at the school to learn about how it will work. New tonight, our Brent Solomon found out it involves bringing police and ministers onto school grounds.
16-year-old Marcus Scott is just like any teenager. The Normandy High 10th grader admits he's learned from his mistakes.
It was probably for like getting the attitude or something, and I only got in trouble for that one time this year.
He says there are often issues students deal with when they walk these halls.
Sometimes it be problems that's out of school. Most students go through stuff out of school, and when they come to school, they put on like a different act or a different face. They don't really want to show what's going on out of school.
That's why his school is trying something different. We learned about it at the school's Awards and Unification Community Dinner Thursday night.
A child does something, they get suspended for 3 days, for 5 days. If they fight, they get suspended for 10 days. But when they come back, what has changed?
Dean of Students DeYoung Foster is rolling out the Circle of Life Restorative Initiative. Monthly after-school sessions to help students learn about resolving conflicts and how to react to situations without getting into trouble. One component of the program, bringing more police onto school grounds, building connections with students, being a friend
cops already got a bad name, so being around them, letting them know that we're just having a regular conversation, you know, picture me without the uniform on pretty much, and just talking about life. Notice that they're going to notice that we have some of the similar situations that we've been through.
They have been able to pull kids aside and say, you know, that would get you arrested in the streets.
The school is also inviting local ministers on campus to help bridge the gap. Scott understands why his dean is doing this.
He wants us to be different.
Why are you so excited about this?
Because I was in their shoes, and then now it's like I'm living in my purpose, so.
Brent Solomon, 5 on your side.
The program will focus mainly on 10th grade students in hopes of reaching them early in their high school career. Tonight, Normandy High also recognized community members who are making a positive impact on students' lives. The donations keep pouring in tonight for Give STL Day. In less than 24 hours, nearly $4 million has been raised, benefiting more than 1,000 local charities and organizations. You still have until midnight to donate to the charity of your choice. Just visit ksdk.com/give or text the word GIVE to 314-425-5355.
Delayed crash reports.
Their job is to help us.
The I-Team uncovers the struggle for the Missouri State Highway Patrol to give closure to grieving loved ones. Turbulence on the tarmac. The wild exit one passenger made after his plane landed.
Mother Nature finally shuts off the faucet sometime Friday, and we're jumping into weather you can wear as the heat and humidity build next week.
Well, you may not want to look at your 401k tonight. Stocks suffered their worst day of the year today, with the Dow and NASDAQ suffering their biggest drop since 2020. The Dow fell more than 1,100 points. The big sell-off more than erased yesterday's big rally after the Fed raised interest rates. The move was to tame inflation, but investors fear it could send the economy into a recession.
New tonight, the number of fatal car accidents is spiking in Missouri, while the number of people reconstructing those accidents has stayed the same.
The I-Team's Christine Byers explains the problem it's creating and what's being done to solve it.
They loved camping, they loved fishing, they loved four-wheelers. They really enjoyed doing things like that, especially with the kids.
They were Cordell Williams, Lacey Newton, and their 4-month-old son, Cordell Jr. Cecilia Williams was Cordell's mother.
I believe they were doing their last Grubhub delivery for the evening.
That's when police say a drunk driver plowed into the back of their car in April of 2021, forcing them off the road and into this tree. About 2 hours later, a state trooper knocked on Williams' door in Bonne Terre.
He said, "Ma'am, all 3 occupants of the vehicle were killed in a fiery crash. They're unrecognizable."
At that moment, Williams knew she was all the couple's other children had left. Mason is 3, Bentley is 5.
All 5 could have been in there. And this is hard enough to deal with. I don't think I could have dealt with all 5.
Her grandchildren needed her. Williams needed financial help and justice. That process took longer than she expected, partly because of delays with the accident reconstruction report.
No one should have to wait months and months.
Other families are waiting for answers too. Missouri Highway Patrol Corporal Dallas Thompson says the pandemic is to blame.
You know, we would stop cars daily, in excess of 100 miles per hour. We'd ask them why was they driving so fast, and their answer was just there wasn't any traffic on the roadway. I didn't think I was hurting anybody.
There were 876 fatal crashes in Missouri in 2019. In 2020, there were 987. In 2021, 1,015. And even though those numbers went up, the number of accident reconstruction teams did not.
The crash teams are broken up into quarters around the state into 4 sections, and most teams have 4 or 5 team members. Currently, we're at about a 50 to 60-day completion on most of our crash reconstructions. Again, that's higher than we want it to be. Ideally, we like to be able to respond to those crashes and get all that investigation completed, all the paperwork turned back in and ready for dissemination within 30 days.
Reconstruction teams have been called out around 120 times so far this year. The Highway Patrol estimates about a quarter of those reports are still pending. To cut down on the wait time, Thompson said the patrol is beefing up enforcement to slow drivers and reduce crashes, being more selective about reconstruction team callouts, and having troopers do some of the work.
Have you asked for more money to hire more reconstructionists?
I'm sure they're making those requests. Just will they be able to fulfill those requests in a timely manner? You know, that's going to be up to the legislators.
Let's say you get the money you're asking for to hire more people, then what?
We can get all the money in the world to add to these specialty positions, but we have to pull that from our current troopers that we have.
Let's go. Grab the rope.
Even though Williams has her report now, she hopes others won't have to wait as long for theirs.
Their job is to help us, and that's what they want to do. It makes it hard for them, and it makes it hard for the families that have to wait for those reports as well.
For the I-Team, Christine Byers, 5 on your side.
Illinois State Police told the I-Team just yesterday that their reconstruction reports are taking almost 3 months to complete. They have 27 reports pending, the bulk of which happened last year.
A man is in police custody in Chicago tonight after he jumped out of a plane while it was taxiing on the runway. It happened early this morning right after the United Airlines plane landed at Chicago O'Hare. The man reportedly opened an emergency exit door and slid down the wing onto the tarmac. Passengers and the flight crew were stunned.
I think everybody was just kind of a little surprised and kind of doing, did we really see what we really saw?
United says its ground crew stopped the individual outside of the aircraft. The airline says the plane then arrived at the gate and passengers deplaned safely.
Well, this time next year, St. Louis City SC will be playing in its inaugural season. Tonight, we are getting a new look inside Centene Stadium, the MLS club's home in downtown St. Louis. The 25,000-seat stadium is set to be completed in July. It'll feature state-of-the-art Wi-Fi to enhance the fan experience, but technology will also be used to keep the turf in perfect condition.
Scott joins us again. Have to get through tomorrow, Scott, but then a beautiful weekend.
You know, the weekend is looking outstanding, just in time for Mother's Day, right? So we're going to actually get some warmer, comfortable, brighter skies in here. We don't have that tonight. It's still chilly. Temperatures holding in the 50s now. You're looking back towards St. Peter's from St. Charles along Interstate 70. It is 59 degrees at the moment in St. Charles. Not anything really showing up on the radar around the metro area, but you don't have to go too far to find the rain. We are seeing quite a bit of it across western Missouri into eastern Kansas and now really developing into portions of southwest Missouri. Our big upper level system is back here to our west. This is the behemoth that has to get over us tonight, and we'll move on to the east as we head into tomorrow. Until it passes through, this is what we'll be dealing with, waves of showers and thunderstorms. They have been increasing here from Springfield down to Branson. There's a live look in Branson right now. Rain is coming down. And, you know, it's going to work its way towards us right up Highway 44. We're looking at another ½ inch to an inch of rain. Locally, some spots southwest of St. Louis could end up with a little more. Phelps County, that includes Rolla. You're still looking at that flood warning, an aerial flood warning in effect through 10 a.m. tomorrow. Could it get extended even further? Most of it's pushing out, though, after lunchtime tomorrow. There'll be just a few scattered showers, mainly on the Illinois side of the river. Winds will turn to the northwest. They're going to be a little gusty during the afternoon, but the trend is for improvement. Now, it'll take a while to get those clouds out, especially farther east of St. Louis on Saturday. So we'll hold temperatures from Effingham down through Flora, Salem, Mount Vernon, maybe even into Vandalia. You'll struggle to get to 70 degrees, but as you get back closer to St. Louis and to the west, low 70s. And we should have a bright, beautiful, sunny day. And of course, the flowers are all coming into bloom. Maybe you're giving mom some extra flowers for Mother's Day. Temperatures will be in the 60s in the morning, mid-morning, about 64, 77 at 2 o'clock. Mom would enjoy brunch, right? Well, it gets hot here as we head into next week. The reason being is the jet stream really starts going up to the north. It takes a trek on up into Canada, and that just opens the door for the first time this year to true, honest, hot weather, which we have not had. We've only had 4 days where we've hit 80 or higher. We're going to have our first 90-degree day next week, first of what may be several. The average first 90-degree day each year in St. Louis is on May 15th. So here you go. Doesn't this just scream typical St. Louis? We've been chilly the last couple of days, still kind of gloomy tomorrow. Shower chances highest in the morning. only in the 60s, low 60s at best, kind of like today, cruddy. And then as we head into next week, Mother's Day looks pretty good, and then we're 90 or higher, and we have humidity to go along with that. So it's going to feel like a summer sizzling day by Monday afternoon, probably through Thursday and Friday.
It's like going from March to August. All right, Scott, thanks. Frank is here with sports.
Well, Mike, the Blues have issues with their defense. The Cardinals have issues with their offense. And we are going to show you a phenom in the Cardinal organization that you just have to see.
If you have a tip for the 5 on Your Side I-Team, call us at 314-444-5231 or email 5onyourside@ksdk.com. All calls and correspondence will be kept confidential.
We are going to find out by Sunday afternoon a lot more about this Cardinal team. It's one thing to beat the Royals, go to San Francisco and win a series against the Giants. And it would really help if you can get Yadier Molina going. He is here, third inning, his first homer of the season, and he ties Ted Simmons for 9th in Cardinals history for home runs. Then in the 5th, Tommy Edman knocked in 2. Cardinals beating the Giants right now 3-1 in the 6th. Hey, you got to see this hitter for the Double-A Springfield Cardinals. His name is Moises Gomez. He leads all of professional baseball in homers with 13. He's hitting .408. He has 28 RBIs in 21 games. This 23-year-old outfielder from Caracas is a guy you have to keep an eye on.
Chasing the Cup, sponsored by Car Shield.
To center for Zuccarello with numbers, and they score, and Kaprizov, and it's 5-2.
Tomorrow night, Game 3 for the Blues and Wild. The story will be the Blues defense. There is a possibility that they will be without Marco Scandello, Robert Bortuzzo, and Nick Leddy, meaning you're supposed to deal with the explosive Wild without 3 of your top 6 defensemen. So this man, Ville Husso, will have to be sharp. 37 saves, pitched a shutout in his playoff debut. Game 2, much different. 22 saves, 5 goals allowed. So how does he handle it? Not all of it was his fault. But if you're wondering if the coach is thinking about a switch to the playoff-tested Jordan Binnington, well, the coach pretty much ruled that out today.
He's handled that throughout the season, I think, pretty well too, where there's games where it doesn't go his way early, and he usually he does a good job of hanging in there, you know, and I expect he'll be fine tomorrow, and, you know, we'll see, you know, how it goes. It's just about collapsing quicker and getting into people and winning puck battles there.
We finish up with Frankly Speaking and some thoughts on a move the Cardinals may have to make. And I certainly don't want this to happen because I think Paul DeYoung is a wonderful guy who's done some really good things. But this game is about production. He entered tonight's game hitting .127. He hit .197 last season. He's only 28 and was once an All-Star who hit 74 homers over a 3-year span. He has time to right this ship, but not much time. One option is to call up second baseman Nolan Gorman from Memphis and move Tommy Edman to shortstop. Edman could likely play shortstop better than David Eckstein, who the Cardinals won a world championship with, but this move is about Gorman's power. So far in Memphis, he's blasted 11 homers, and he has an OPS over 1,100. The move hurts you at 2 positions, and Gorman does strike out a lot, but you have to get more production out of this lineup. Believe me, I hope it doesn't come to this. I really do. It would be much better for Nolan to have another season in Memphis and for the Cardinals to have an elite fielding shortstop, which is what DeYoung gives them. Or maybe they give the job to Edmundo Sosa, who was quite good last year. Stay tuned. This is a drama unfolding before our very eyes every day.
And Frank, I'm wondering about the addition of Juan Yepez, who was the designated hitter tonight. He bats from the right side, so what does this mean for Albert Pujols?
Well, the bottom line is, when you have so many holes in a lineup, if he hits, Albert is going to get less at-bats, and Yepez has really hit in Memphis, and he's off to a good start here in St. Louis.
All right, Frank, thanks.
Coming up, a big party tonight on Cherokee Street. How you can still take part in the Cinco de Mayo fun.
With gas prices these days, who wouldn't want to fill up their tank for free? Today in St. Louis, and their crew, and Phillips 66, is giving away free fuel this week. Tune in tomorrow morning starting at 4:30 to find out how to enter. We're just 2 days away from the Kentucky Derby right here on 5 on Your Side. One horse running is raising awareness with its cutting-edge name, CyberKnife. It's named after a radiation machine that uses robotic precision to treat cancer. CyberKnife's owner received the treatment, and he invited other cancer survivors to Churchill Downs this week for a VIP experience.
Today is Cinco de Mayo, and for the first time in 2 years, people packed Cherokee Street for margaritas and Mexican food. But the big street festival will take place on Saturday, and there will be live music, food, drinks, shopping, and even lucha libre wrestling.
So have you worked out what you're doing for Mother's Day now? I know Drew doesn't watch the show, but is it possible that he's learned that it's breakfast in bed on Sunday?
I mean, his mom's going to have to come over and cook it.
That's the only way it's going to get done. There you have it, 5 on Your Side at 10. The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon is next.
His guest tonight, Chris Pratt. Have a great Friday.